The new popular Indian art. In the 19th century, a new word of popular art development in many of the cities of India. Next, in Bengal, around the pilgrim centers of the temple of Kalighat, local village scroll painters called Phantus and potters called Kumhars in Indian at the North India began developing a new style of art. They moved from the surrounding village into Calcutta in the early 19th century. This was a time when the city was expanding as a commercial and administrative center. Colonial offices were coming up, new buildings and roads were being built, markets were being established. The city appeared as a palace of the opportunity where people could come to make a new living. Village artists too came and settled in the city in the hope of new patterns and new buyers of their art. Next, before the 19th century, the village painters and commerce have had worked on mythological themes and produced images of gods and goddesses. On shifting to Kalighat, they continued to paint these religious images. Traditionally, the figures in scroll paintings looked flat, not rounded. Now Kalighat painters began to us, shading to give them a rounded form to make the image look there. Yet the images were not realistic and lifelike. In fact, what is especially to be noted in these early Kalighat paintings is the use of a bold, deliberately non-realistic style where the figures emerge large and powerful with a minimum of line, detail and colors. After the 1840s, we see a new trend within the Kalighat artists living in a society where values, tastes, norms, and customs were undergoing rapid change. Kalighat artists responded to the world around and produced paintings on social and political themes. Next, many of the late 19th century Kalighat paintings depict social life under British rule. Of the artist mocked at the chance they saw around, ridiculing the new tastes of those who spoke in English and adopted Western liabilities, dressed like Sahib, smoked cigarette or on the chairs. They made ton of the Western bamboo, criticized corrupt prestige, and warned against women moving out of their homes. They often expressed the anger of common people against the rich and the fear many people had about dramatic change of social norms. Next, many of these Kalighat pictures were printed in large numbers and sold in the market. Initially, the images were engraved in wooden blocks. The carved block was inked, pressed against paper. Then the woodcut prints that were produced were colored by hand. In this way, many copies could be produced from the same blocks. By the late 19th century, mechanical printing press were set up in different parts of India, which allowed prints to be produced in even larger numbers. Next, these prints could therefore be sold cheap in the market. Even the poor could buy them. Popular print were not painted only by the poor village Kalighat Patas. Often middle class Indian artists set up printings presses and produced prints for a wide market. They were trained in British art school in new methods of life study, oil paintings, and print making. One of the most successful of these presses that were set up in late 19th century Calcutta was in the Calcutta Art Studio. It produced lifelike image of eminent Bengali personalities as well as mythological pictures. But these mythological pictures were realistic. The figures were located in picturesque landscape settings with mountains, lakes, rivers, and forests. You must have seen many popular calendar pictures of Hindu deities in shop and roadside stalls. Next, at the same time, British officials who found the word in the colonized different from that back home wanted image through which they could understand India, remember their life in India, and depreciate India to the Western world. So we find local painters producing a vast number of images of local plants and animals, historical buildings and monuments, festivals and processions, traders and crafts, caste and communities. These pictures, eagerly collected by the East India Company officials, came to be known as company paintings. Next, not all artists, however, were court painters. Not all of them painted for the Nawab. Let us see what was happening outside the court. Next, with the establishment of British power, many of the local courts lost their influence and wealth. They could not longer support painters and pay them to paint for the court. How could the artist earn a living? Many of them turned to the British